On 2nd March, we have the commemoration of Saint Chad, a missionary, bishop, healer, and wonder worker who spread the Orthodox Catholic faith throughout the British Isles. Today, we are also entering into the holy season of Lent. Each year, the Church gives us 6 weeks to take a long, loving look at our lives to see if our values and priorities are in line with God's desires for us. Since most of us find that we have wandered from God's path, Lent becomes that second chance or do-over to return to God with our whole heart. May this be a best chance for us to reconcile ourselves with God and others and do our Lenten practice in secret and in silence. During Lent, all memorials of saints, whether obligatory or optional, are deemed commemorations, and their celebration is more limited than in other times. In all cases, their celebration is optional, even for memorials that would be obligatory outside of Lent. In any case, the saints continue to help us to increase our faith and live our lives in holiness, just as they did. Therefore, now, some life sketches of Saint Chad on this Ash Wednesday. Saint Chad, the youngest of 4 brothers, was born into a humble Northumbrian family near the beginning of the 7th century. All 4 became priests of the Holy Church and then all saints. Chad worked tirelessly with his brother Ched, who had been made Bishop of London. They established the monastery of Lastingham in Yorkshire. Upon the death of his brother Ched in 664, Chad succeeded him as abbot. Saint Chad was consecrated, of course uncanonically, by Bishop Winnie. Saint Chad was hesitant to be bishop. He wanted no part of it, but ultimately he was obedient. He began to devote himself to ecclesiastical truth and to purity of doctrine and consecrated a great deal on the practice of virtue. When Saint Theodore, the new Archbishop of Canterbury, arrived in England in 669, he charged Chad with being improperly ordained bishop. Saint Chad, in astounding humility, responded, "If you decide that I have not rightly received the episcopal character, I willingly lay down the office, for I have never thought myself worthy of it, but under obedience. I, though unworthy, consented to undertake it." Saint Theodore was so deeply impressed by the humility and holiness of Saint Chad that before Chad retired to Lastingham, he made good whatever was lacking in his episcopal consecration. Soon after the death of Jeruman, Bishop of Mercia, Saint Theodore requested King Oswin to let Chad take over that see. Mercia was a land of deeply rooted pagan beliefs and a large area at that. Saint Chad considered this to be his true work, bringing the Mercian people to Christ. Later, he moved the see of Mercia to Lichfield. Chad carried out his missionary and pastoral work with zeal. The kingdom of Mercia was huge. Chad spent much of his time traveling by foot. He died of plague. Saint Chad was visited by angelic hosts just 7 days before his death, ushering their return to summon him to heaven. Numerous miracles have been reported at his graveside.